हेलो वेलकम बैक टू ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस। और हाँ, कंग्रेचुलेशंस इंग्लैंड एज थिंग्स स्टैंड। यस, आई होप एवरीवन नो यार, जो भी देख रहा है और देखने वाला है, बिकॉज यार दे आर द फर्स्ट वंस, पहले कंट्री जो दे आर होल्डिंग बोथ द 50 ओवर वर्ल्ड कप एज वेल एज द T20 वर्ल्ड कप। यार दैट इज मतलब नेक्स्ट लेवल। मतलब इज इट द लेवल ऑफ डोमिनेशन व्हाइट बॉल क्रिकेट में जो दिखाया था भाई वेस्ट इंडीज ने इन द 1970s 1980s to some extent you can say, and of course the Australian team जो दिखाए थे in the late 1990s and 2000s in white ball rather red ball cricket. Let me know सब लोग भाई, I believe that England और भाई सब लोग जो भी देख रहे हैं ना और जो देखने वाले भी है भाई, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हिट दैट लाइक बटन। अगेन मैं बोलना चाहूंगा दैट कम्युनिकेशंस फॉर पाकिस्तान एब्सोल्युटली, बिकॉज इन माय ओपिनियन दे हैव टू होल्ड द हेड्स हाई। और भाई सब लोग आ जाइए। Yes, definitely I can understand Pakistani subscribers not being very excited at this point in time. I can understand even Indian subscribers भाई बहुत ही मतलब एक होता है ना कि यार काश हम इस पॉइंट पर रहते, लेकिन let's be honest, England was the best team. They were the best team. हाँ, you can argue that start of the tournament में नहीं थे, towards the end they definitely picked up their form, लेकिन so did Pakistan, right? So आई बिलीव यार इट वाज अ वेरी फेयर एंड स्क्वायर गेम। और भाई जो भी लोग बोल रहे थे भाई बारिश आएगी भाई, एक तो मैं वॉच अलॉन्ग शायद, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, yes, there's too much content coming on both the channels, so I didn't do the watch along, लेकिन at the same time मैं लग रहा था कि बारिश आने वाली, and that is what you say that big games बारिश भी नहीं आई। It was not a repeat 92 का, not exact repeat, लेकिन it was kind of close। जब लिया था ना विकेट शाहीन शाह अफरीदी ने पहला, मैं बोला ओ माय गॉड येट अगेन भाई, इज इट अ वसीम अकरम पार्ट 2 व्हाट। बट अगेन मैं लेने वाला हूँ, और आई नो मैंने थोड़ा सा जल्दी डाल दिया था, लेकिन भाई थोड़ा बहुत करना पड़ता है एज अ कंटेंट क्रिएटर, यू ऑल नो दैट। और मैं यहाँ पर सब लोग वो देख रहे हैं ना, एक चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ, एंड दिस माइट कम अक्रॉस रॉन्ग टू सम पीपल, आई नो दैट, लेकिन भाई देखिए यार, मतलब ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस पे वी हैव बीन कवरिंग कंटेंट एंड टू एंड पूरे साल भाई क्रिकेट का। तो भाई आई वुड लाइक टू से भाई इंडियन कम्युनिटी में जो भी है स्पेशली भाई, आई वुड लाइक टू नो दैट भाई आप लोग with all due respect are going to other channels, which is absolutely fine, you're more than welcome, लेकिन I am kind of surprised bro, मैं opportunistic नहीं हूँ, let's be very honest, ठीक है। I am a true cricket fan and I am someone who follows cricket and who has played cricket at third division cricket, let me also tell you, ठीक है, और who covers cricket on Almighty Sports Plus literally end to end पूरे साल। तो अगर भाई आ रहे हैं people are opportunistic because they have a great following and hats off to them, वो लोग भाई आज और फाइनल और सेमीफाइनल में सडन से लाइव हो जाते हैं और 25 के व्यूज निकाल देते हैं, वो कहाँ का ना इंसाफी है, मतलब आई डोंट नो, मतलब आई नो थोड़ा सा मैं ऑफ टॉपिक जा रहा हूँ, बट अगेन द रीजन बीइंग दैट भाई आई हैड आस्क्ड इन द कम्युनिटी एंड एवरीवन वांटेड दैट एज इन दे डिडंट से फॉर द वॉच अलोंग, तो मैं कर रहा हूँ रिव्यू, तो आई एम होपिंग एवरीवन कम्स and we have a lot of conversation because we not only do what happens on TV reviews as well, हम काफी और भी चीज करते हैं, for people who have been to watch alongs know that, ठीक है। तो एवरीवन भाई लेट्स हिट दैट लाइक बटन, लेट्स गेट मोर पीपल, एंड यस काफी ज्यादा कंटेंट है, सो आई वाज नॉट एबल टू डू वॉच अलोंग, बट होपफुली वी गेट अ लॉट ऑफ कन्वर्सेशन गोइंग। यहाँ पर संजीव या इंग्लैंड ले गई यार, एब्सोल्युटली संजीव ले गई है। बेन स्टोक्स व्हाट अ वे टू रिडीम। ओके, टॉक अबाउट बेन स्टोक्स, यू नो व्हाट आई हैव टू से भाई, बेन स्टोक्स, और यहाँ स्कोर कार्ड दिखा दो, द रीजन मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आई नो अगेन काफी इंडियन फैंस स्पेशली जो अभी भी निराशा रख रहे थोड़ा बहुत एंड मे नॉट हैव वॉच्ड दैट गेम, आई नो दैट एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट। तो यहां पर देखिए बेन स्टोक्स 52 ऑफ 49 बॉल्स इन अ फाइनल चेजिंग 139, क्या बोलोगे आप। और आपको याद है 2016 में क्या हुआ था, 2016 में कार्लोस ब्रैथवेट, मतलब वो कभी भूलेंगे नहीं वो रात, ये आई थिंक ईडन गार्डन्स में था जहां तक मुझे याद है, ईडन गार्डन्स में था, एंड इट वाज इन कोलकाता। नॉट जस्ट दैट भाई, he came back in 2019, he won that world cup for England, and yes बहुत दोरी उन्होंने फेस किया है। साथ साथ में there was a lot of speculation भाई इंग्लैंड अनफेयर जीती हो वर्ल्ड कप एंड ऑल दैट, वी ऑल नो दैट it should have been shared and what not, और वो जो जो बाउंड्री तक गया था बॉल विद द बॉल हिटिंग द बैट, एवरीवन नोज दैट, तो दैट वाज अ बेन स्टोक्स मोमेंट, एवरीवन नोज दैट, वो हाथ ऊपर कर लिए थे, लेकिन उस समय मैं भी टू बी ऑनेस्ट आई हैड टोल्ड कि कम ऑन, हाथ ऊपर से करने से क्या हुआ, मतलब इट इज फेयर इट इज अनफेयर वाला चीज वो क्लियर था, लेकिन अगेन वो उनकी गलती नहीं थी, वो थी रूल्स की गलती, और रूल्स जो भी था उसके मुताबिक इंग्लैंड जीती थी। आज क्या कोई क्वेश्चन कर सकता नहीं, प्लस बीच में आई थिंक फॉर मेंटल हेल्थ ही हैड टेकन अ ब्रेक, एवरीवन रिमेंबर्स दैट एज वेल। तो भाई काफी सारा अप्स एंड डाउन्स देखा है बेन स्टोक्स ने, सो यू हैव टू गिव द गाय एब्सोल्यूट क्रेडिट, बट इवन मोर सो इन माय ओपिनियन सैम करन, भाई सैम करन ने जो किया है विद द बॉल, 4 overs 12 runs 3 wickets, वाओ, मतलब इन माय ओपिनियन दैट डिजर्व्ड द मैन ऑफ द मैच इन इटसेल्फ, लेकिन आई बिलीव उनको मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट दिया गया। करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग। आते हैं भाई, सब लोग कमेंट मारते हैं। अगेन भाई आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन टू हिट दैट लाइक बटन एब्सोल्युटली भाई। अगेन आई रिपीट इट, और यस फॉर पीपल हु माइट मिसअंडरस्टैंड, यू आर मोर देन वेलकम टू मिसअंडरस्टैंड, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है मैंने कितना मेहनत की, और आप लोगों को सब मालूम है जो देखते रेगुलरली, दैट भाई हम अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक नहीं है ऑन ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस। We have already covered the Commonwealth Games to the every bit of Indian cricket and any tournament which India has participated, any and every tournament. तो भाई सब लोग हम अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक नहीं है, हम यहाँ खाली उसके लिए नहीं आ रहे क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल है, और हम इसलिए नहीं आते खाली सेमीफाइनल से। तो भाई सब लोग लाइक बटन प्लीज दबा दीजिए, इट हेल्प्स मी, एंड इफ यू गाइज आर विद मी इट्स एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट, इफ यू गाइज आर नॉट विद मी फिर भी यार यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम एब्सोल्युटली। चलो भाई सब लोग, बिपरा इन द हाउस कोई नहीं भाई। अगेन हम, to be very honest, Pakistan do not deserve troll one bit. They do not deserve a troll one bit, in my opinion. बिल्कुल हाँ एग्जैक्टली डरेन, मैंने बता दिया था। एज अ कंटेंट क्रिएटर यू हैव टू डू यार समटाइम्स, मैं वही चेंज मैं बैकअप भी रेडी रखा था जस्ट डरेन। लेकिन हाँ, टेक अबाउट बेन स्टोक्स, द वे ही हैज मैच्योर्ड एंड प्रोग्रेस इन हिज करियर इज रिमार्केबल एंड हैज टू बी अप्रिशिएटेड। ब्रिलियंट नॉक अंडर प्रेशर, perfect balance between sensible and aggressive batting. Absolutely. Hats off to Naseem Shah. भाई हैट्स ऑफ टू एवरी पाकिस्तान बॉलर आउट देयर। भाई 3 पाकिस्तान बॉलर मैं बोलूंगा, नसीम शाह तो है ही, खैर अभी यार लिफ्ट कर रही है वर्ल्ड कप एज आई स्पीक, इंग्लैंड दैट इज, एंड जॉश बटलर यार, जॉश बटलर टेकिंग ओवर फ्रॉम ओयन मॉर्गन। लग ही नहीं रहा है कि इट्स अ न्यू इंग्लैंड, इट्स द सेम इंग्लैंड व्हिच वन द 2019 वर्ल्ड कप। इट इज अ डेजा वू वाला फीलिंग मुझे जो लग रहा है। अगेन am I excited? No, because मुझे नहीं लगता in any sport and everyone who's followed Almighty Sports Plus and Almighty Blues FC, हमेशा से एक चीज मैंने कांस्टेंट बोला है, और यस एक चीज भाई सब लोग ये भी बता दीजिए भाई, अंकित भाई ओपी कर दीजिए, अंकित ओपी कर दीजिए भाई, फ्रॉम डे वन ऑफ द प्रीव्यू, फ्रॉम बिफोर द टूर्नामेंट स्टार्टेड, मिडवे थ्रू द टूर्नामेंट और टिल द एंड, मैंने क्या बोला? इंग्लैंड जीतेगी टूर्नामेंट। Does anyone remember that? I had always said England will win the tournament, always, and they are the absolute favorites and they will win the tournament again. लेकिन हाँ, hats off to, in my opinion, Rauf, Haris Rauf भाई बहुत ही, मतलब he was injured, but even more so Shaheen Shah Afridi यार, he was injured, still he came down. और Haris Rauf मैं बोलता हूँ क्यों, it's not just because he was also slightly injured looks like, लेकिन भाई एक फील्डिंग से एक सेव किया था बाउंड्री भाई, he was already slightly injured and what a save, what a stretch भाई। इंडियन रद्दी क्रिकेटर्स आप ढूंढ के देखो यार ये सब रिप्लेस, और आपको इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी। दिस गाय वाज हाफ इंजर्ड, आई नो इट्स वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल आप करोगे ही भाई, लेकिन सेमीफाइनल में इंडिया ने नहीं किया था। अगेन विल कम टू इंडिया एज वेल, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट। एनएस स्पोर्ट्स टीवी बिग अप अगेन, यस इंग्लैंड विन ऑफ कोर्स, एनएस स्पोर्ट्स टीवी वेरी मच देयर, सो अगेन पीपल डू follow NS Sports TV भी, this guy knows stuff, but again congratulations to England fans, it's going home बिल्कुल। Fireworks Hunter take a ball तब ले लिया था मैंने, man I wanna cry। Ali Gaming again, big respect to you bro, big respect to you, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है being a Pakistani fan right now may not be easy, but honestly मैं बोलता हूँ, to be very honest, मैं इंडियन हूँ भाई, मुझे मौका मिलना चाहिए फॉर पाकिस्तान लूजिंग, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, लेकिन साथ साथ मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब आई डोंट थिंक यू कैन बी प्राउड ऑफ योर टीम। अली गेमिंग, यू कैन नॉट बी प्राउड ऑफ योर टीम। मैंने 2 इंस्टेंस बताया अभी, और बहुत इंस्टेंस हम बात करेंगे, तो दैट इज व्हाई आई वुड से दैट यू हैव टू बी प्राउड ऑफ योर टीम टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट। बट हाँ, देयर आर सम क्रिटिसिज्म भी हम करेंगे। यस फरहान, मैंने पढ़ा था वो चीज, 92 ग्लोरी तो नहीं, 92 स्कैम हो गया। अरे कम ऑन प्रथम, सैम करन इज हेडिंग टू सीएसके, दे सी हिम एज अ फ्यूचर कैप्टन, इट्स बीन वेरी साइलेंट सिंस इंडियाज एग्जिट, वेरी सरप्राइजिंग। वेल प्रथम, अगेन मैं एडमिट करूंगा भाई, इंडिया के एग्जिट के बाद हमने उस दिन रिव्यू किया था, बस बाद में आई वाज प्लानिंग टू डू, लेकिन वो ये टाइम नहीं मिला, लेकिन वो ये एंथू भी नहीं था, सच में बोलता हूं। तो प्रथम, this time for Ben Stokes to perform, man, you can say that. Who has received man of the tournament? I believe it is Sam Curran. I believe it is Sam Curran. Again, people जो देखे do let me know, but I think yeah, it's Sam Curran. I think Sid has confirmed it. Yes, बिल्कुल आशीष, thanks यार. But again, I'm telling you, and I'm saying for the third time here, भाई, I'm again repeating myself. भाई, this particular stream should have at least 180 people watching. अभी 18 लोग देख रहे हैं ना, at least 180 लोग देखना चाहिए, to be very 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 honest. भाई अगेन आई एम पुटिंग आउट माय नेक एंड सेइंग इट बिंदास, मैं बोल रहा हूं भाई, और ये सच्चाई है, सच्चाई बोलने में कोई डर नहीं है। सच्चाई ये है कि भाई इंडियन कम्युनिटी में, इंडियन यूट्यूब कम्युनिटी में, जो आप लोग सबको पता है क्या है, विच आई ड्यूली रिस्पेक्ट एंड आई रेकमेंड एज फार एज माय फीचर्ड चैनल्स, भाई आई एम द ओनली चैनल एंड आई एम द ओनली चैनल हु इज नॉट अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक व्हेन इट कम्स टू क्रिकेट, क्योंकि आई हैव प्लेड द गेम at some level, at a decent level, and I have been following and creating content for 1.5 years on this channel. तो भाई प्लीज सब लोग, I am not opportunistic. Again, I don't want to take names, but you know what I mean, right? With all due respect to them. तो ये एक रियलिटी है. तो भाई अगेन जो डिजर्व करता है उसको देना चाहिए. जैसे इंग्लैंड डिजर्व करती है, उनको कप मिला, भाई हम डिजर्व करते हैं, 200 लोग आ जाने चाहिए. सिंपली एज दैट. वो कैसे आएंगे? आप लोग सब प्लीज लाइक करिए. प्लीज लाइक माई community post on Almighty Blues FC as well. I have posted there. That's my main channel. And of course, a tweet goes out automatically. So if it goes, it's brilliant. Okay, we have Abel in the house. Let's include Abel as well. I'll take a few comments. Mane walo people. Hey Abel, what's up, bro? I'm
What's
totally
up? What's up?
final
It's
or
coming
something.
home finally, huh?
Yeah, man, it's going home. But honestly, like Abel, again, you remember, right? As we discussed clearly, and I did say that England is going to win the tournament.
No,
And
we did
anyway,
say I did. I remember telling to
like,
you it is England's World Cup to lose, and they've proven it once again why they are the greatest white ball team of this generation. They have actually defied the odds, and look at the way they have really transformed. This is not possible. This is a peak of their past. This is where they've reached the peak of their past, winning the 2019 World Cup, winning this T20 World Cup. Last year also they should have probably won that if they were defeated New Zealand there. They swept the floor with Australia in the group stage game there as well. So I personally think this is the greatest white ball team of this generation. They truly deserve it. There is no doubt about it. They did well and truly deserve it.
yeah. Again, we'll be talking about certain moments. By the way, यहाँ प्रथम का comment है, तो मैं एक comment लेऊंगा आज, थोड़ा लूंगा, आराम से लूंगा. और by the way, because यार this stream has been powered by Sporticos, I would like to say everyone one thing यार, do not forget to check out the description. मैंने link डाला है, and I know it's the end of the World Cup in cricket. भाई लेकिन फुटबॉल वर्ल्ड कप भी बाकी है और क्रिकेट का सीजन अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. बहुत सारा क्रिकेट आएंगे और अनलाइक, अगेन मैं बिंदास बोलता हूँ भाई, अनलाइक certain people, we are not opportunistic. We try and cover content end to end. We do it always. हम खाली सेमीफाइनल और फाइनल वर्ल्ड कप नहीं करते, हम हमेशा करते हैं. और आप लोगों को पता है जो भी रेगुलर आता है, सेम विद एबल, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. तो भाई सब लोग चेक करिएगा, आपको क्या मिलेगा वो फर्स्ट लाइन में डिस्क्रिप्शन से. This sporticos.com, which is kind of helping Almighty Sport Plus and Almighty Blues FC subscribers to get a free jersey. So please do check it out. और हमारे पास already we have a couple of customers who have taken that. So it'll be great if you can do that, because limited stock है, तो you'll get absolutely free jersey. वो होगा आपका basically choice that which free jersey do you want. It can be India, it can be Pakistan, it could be England. Cricket का मैं बोल रहा हूँ, yes, or it could be football, any of the clubs that you want, any of the countries you want. So go for it. Of course, there's a procedure. उस procedure से you can not only win one, but you can win 2 jerseys. And the second one can be a training jacket, plus you get an extra bonus for something to play. So go for it, people. I would highly suggest that. Is the first line in the description. Again, check out sporticos.com as well. So यहाँ पर मैं comments ले रहा हूँ भाई. Adelaide 2015 against Bangladesh. वही एबल ने बोला ना, वाइड बॉल जो रेवोल्यूशनरी देखा ना इंग्लैंड ने, तो आई थिंक दैट इज अ डिफरेंट लेवल. मतलब आई स्टिल रिमेंबर एबल, I can relate. मतलब if you, I don't know if you, anyone of you might be remembering in the chat, but pretty sure यहाँ पर I relate Australia and England very similarly. मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ?
I think that is
90s,
case,
early
right?
90s Australia, right? And then how they transformed, how England has transformed a similar way, right?
Yeah. I think this has to be there, up there with some of the best when it comes to some of the greatest cricketing victories. If I remember, Australia in 2000s, West Indies in 80s, and England in now late 2010s to 2020s. Now you will remember this generation. We talk about India, but we have never revolutionized. They've all revolutionized cricket to a certain extent. We've been consistent, but we've not revolutionized. I think it is about it. When you revolutionize it, you get success as well. And I think England have done it beautifully. 2015, as he mentioned, was the rock bottom moment for English white ball cricket. And from there on, it was only one way up. And I think in Test cricket as well for them, when they lost to West Indies earlier in 2022, it was a rock bottom after the Ashes. And from there, where they're trying to revolutionize Test format, they are a force to reckon with even there now. But the fact of the matter is that the way they've identified players is so important to be looked into. They knew this is a philosophy we want to play, and this is the players we want to choose. What happens in other countries is we choose the players and we like, aisa khelo, aisa nahi hota. So first you set up a philosophy, then you choose the players according to it. I think even in football, we talk about it so much, you choose players who can fit into a particular system. Same as that. That's what England did.
I think that the management also matters, right? If you remember that even the management, like for instance, there was a time when Andy Flower was around, and there was a lot of, even the Strauss, Andy Flower, and then those kind of things, as in once they got over with that, as in Morgan was a, as in breath of fresh air. And again, ironically, he wasn't even like totally English, if I may say so. So that is interesting, because sometimes you need an outside point of view to kind of change that, and probably he brought that again. Him kind of, as in, I think he probably took a rest, and then he was stepped down, and then you had, obviously, as in between, you had Ben Stokes taking a break. That was one more thing that people need to remember. Plus, with Josh Butler himself, kind of, also he had fitness issues. I remember there were a couple of months as well. So to some extent, I think you have to say that it's all about the mentality, and I think that's what probably has started them change this thing, and they have gone with the mentality even today. And we'll come to the scorecard and exactly what exactly happened, but I think that was very clear to see the approach has not changed one bit. And yes, of course, unlike India, जो बोलते कुछ है करते कुछ है, at least for this tournament. But England first team to hold, exactly. We have a right to celebrate this win because almost everyone here follows an English club. Danish, that's a nice way to be happy. Sometimes it's just up. It's always good to find a reason to be happy. And Danish is kind of hit the nail on the head, Babar. But Ali Gaming, obviously Pakistani fan. Yeah, we choked at big stage, and always at the last 5 overs, Babar captaincy choke. I think more than the
I
captaincy, I
think
was
we should
batting,
talk
man.
about
His own
Pakistan
batting.
as well. I think if you let me, I'll show you an interesting stat. I think I'll send it to you. You can display it.
या
It's the
प्लीज,
run rate.
मीनवाइल आई जस्ट शो द स्कोर कार्ड फॉर एवरीवन एज वेल. तो भाई ये देखिए, अब यहाँ पर मैं जो दिखाने वाला था ना, बाबर आजम देखिए 32 ऑफ 28 balls, ठीक है, विद 2 boundaries only. So that is a big concern for me in itself, to be very honest about it, right?
Yeah,
So with that, I think somewhere down the line, I think if I'm not wrong, even when England on batting, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone who's in the chat, but there was a moment 80 something that they were literally in the same score line in the same number of overs, ठीक है.
yeah,
So ऐसा नहीं है कि यार इंग्लैंड ने बहुत धो डाला, मतलब इट वाज अ क्लोज मैच, लाइक T20s मोस्टली आर, स्पेशली द फाइनल्स. लेकिन at the end of the day, it is that middle and late order. Did they do enough? And Pakistan probably no. Right? Shadab probably
yeah.
did decent, but apart from him, I don't think anyone kind of really did well. Masood was hitting the ball, but I think Babar Azam, took too much time in our opinion. That never came. Yeah, please, you were about to share
Yeah,
something
I
with
think
me.
I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. Maybe you can display that.
Okay.
I've sent you two of the stats. I mean,
Let me
graphical
just check it
representations.
up. By the way, let me take a couple of comments. Meanwhile, India supporting England freedom fighters from heaven. Be like, हाँ ये कर ले पहले. Oh my God. Okay. सादिक भाई आ रहे क्या? भाई मैंने मैसेज तो किया था सादिक भाई को. वो ये मतलब बोल रहे थे भाई हारे तो डाउट है kind of thing. But anyway, let me see. Let me message him again. But I don't want to ping him too much. यार. मतलब I can imagine how Pakistani supporters might be feeling right now. So it's fair. I messaged him once. So fair enough यार. Or he might be busy. Again, मैं ये भी बार बार बोल रहा again for people out there, please hit that like button. Why, this is a World Cup final and I know that England final very very ironically यार, मतलब आज भी ना स्टेडियम में ज्यादा पाकिस्तानी फैंस थे, सेमीफाइनल में भी इंडिया फैंस थे. I know that, like, but at the end of the day we are celebrating cricket here, and हमें by Almighty Sports Plus, you know that we celebrate most of the sport, but cricket and football absolutely. तो और यहाँ पर again I am crossing the line, but I'm saying that but we are not opportunistic. We cover content on cricket throughout the season. So everyone, let's hit that like button and get more people, because हमने discuss करना है every point of view. First ICC tournament as captain lost in semis. Rohit deserves another tournament. We gave time to. Okay, so Danish is Rohit's side. Let me start that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. India के लिए मतलब today India should be on the back foot. लेकिन definitely we'll come to the Danish. वो है agenda to be discussed as well. Yeah, Morgan, exactly. Are we sensing Indian FIFA World Cup as well? उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Absolutely. Ben Stokes. You know what? If any man was supposed to be there in that moment for England, probably I would say Ben Stokes and Moeen Ali probably is the best combination. I would say
Yeah.
honestly, they're so cool, right? Both of them.
So,
So
if you look at Ben Stokes' career graph, right, he faces, he hit the rock bottom in the 2016 last over where Carlos Brathwaite took him apart. But look at him from there on. Ashes win, especially 2019 World Cup, he was the man, and taking England home even there. It's still controversial whether England won it in fair and square, but ultimately, what he did was he played a brilliant knock over there. It was New Zealand who was right on top of the game. He's a clutch player. The word clutch player, when you associate with the player, it is Ben Stokes. He hadn't had a very good T20 run up coming into this tournament, and there was definitely questions on his place. But one thing with Josh Butler was very clear was that he knew that he'd deliver when it matters the most. Let's look at the Sri Lanka game where England had to win. It was a must-win game in Sydney. The ball was turning. English batters were put under pressure. Vasaranga and Tikshana came out picking up wickets. But there also, Ben Stokes was the one who was leading England home. Played a very good knock there. Once again in the final, Pakistan had sniffed an opportunity to get back into the game. Even there, It was Ben Stokes who just kept his calm. He was looking nervy, but it's so important to remain so calm. And he knew that he was just two boundaries away from getting back the momentum, and he took the game home pretty well. Ultimately, I would say this is what it is. You get your best when you are going through the worst phase and how you come back out of it. And he's done that beautifully. Now, if you look at this graph, right? Look at the last 5 overs of Pakistan. It's just been awful for Pakistan. They've just been able to score 31 runs in the last 5 overs, and that's the difference if you look in the ultimate scheme of things. This could have easily been a 160 if Pakistan would have scored maybe at least 30, 40, 40 runs in the last 5 overs. But what happened was they were trying to hit, and everything what they hit found the fielder's hand, and I think that's where they missed the trick. Maybe someone like a Shan Masood should have carried on. I thought he should have carried on until 18th over, then looked to have accelerated in the end. But then what is the other option they had? They were behind the 8 ball game from the word go. Babar Azam's knock once again in a final was not good enough. He was struggling a lot. He was putting the pressure on the non-strikers end. And Shan tried to get going, but Babar Azam again found himself in a hole. And look at that batting as well. Uh, everyone were literally very poor today, except maybe Shan Masood, who was possibly a bright light. He played a very good knock. I mean, he tried to shift the momentum, but Babar Azam, 114 strike rate, scoring 32, not good enough, man. I mean, 38 runs at the end of 6 overs. We blamed India for it. I mean, I knew it would come to haunt back Pakistan at some stage, and it did when it mattered the most for them. And it was not good enough. Everyone knew Rizwan is a leg side bully. England will try to ball outside off stump, and Rizwan will get troubled over there. That's exactly what happened. And Babar Azam's struggle against Googly continues. Even in the Asia Cups, even against
Yeah.
India when he was facing Bishnoi, he can't face leg spinner bowling Googly. He really struggles. And especially through the middle overs, he does not have a strike rate like Virat to even accelerate towards the end. What happens with Virat is Virat will play in an anchor's role, and his strike rate in the overs 15 to 20 is 212. So that's the difference. The
Yeah,
issue is
by the
that
way,
Babar does not have the game to accelerate. So that really puts a lot of pressure on the Pakistan middle order. And I think you have to give credit to Ben Stokes even there. Ben Stokes came and picked up Iftikhar for not. That was gem of a ball. I think that really gave England the momentum to finish well.
and actually talking about Iftikhar itself, right? Somewhere down the line, I feel, malab, again, maybe I'm harsh at this point in time, but I think in the long run, longer scheme of things, I think Pakistan need to replace that player. I think they need a better player at that position, in my opinion. Someone who's a little bit consistent. I know it's easy for me to say, but I believe that otherwise, I think for me, Shan Masood looks good. Malab, someone who's a typical number 3, number 4. Again, Mohammad Haris, I was thinking that maybe they'll set him at number 4, but they set him at number 3. So that is something that I think maybe hota na, matlab, knowing Pakistan and what they did with Inzi back in '92, it kind of gave me that vibes that they're probably going that way. But I think Mohammad Haris, I think he got one very good shot and then he got out, right? As in, again, that's how he plays. So we can't really blame
The
Mohammad
issue
Haris,
with
can we?
Mohammad Haris is also that he's very raw, right? I mean, the
Correct.
World Cup final is a different ball game, man. I mean, to be at the end of the day, Ankit Bhaiya, when we talk about all these occasions, it looks very good when you're up there, when you play your first knock. Expectations also goes high because you play a couple of knocks like that. All of a sudden, people are talking about it. People are talking about Mohammad Haris leading into this final. People are expecting him to be the man of the match. So the pressure does get onto it. It's not like none of these players go on social media. It's not like none of the players not even listen to it. Even media is trying to interview him, talking like, "Oh, are you the Inzamam Ulaq of this year?" Because they tried to draw references straight out of 1992. Everything what they were doing, they were trying to draw reference from 1992, and I think that kind of put pressure on Pakistan team as well. Whatever you say, it's a motivation which they could have taken out, but then it is also
Mhm.
added pressure. It's just not good. Everywhere you go, like 1992, it's like you're going in the same script. But
In
ultimately, I was
fact,
saying
toss
that
me, yaar, I was so surprised that even in the toss, they are already putting Babar Azam on the spot. I think that was a bit too much, but anyway, as in we all know that what sells, what does not sell, right? As in that's what probably do. And again, talking about sell, and again telling everyone by people, I know I'm a little go over today, but the fact is, we all know that we are not opportunistic. We follow cricket and we are very proper, as in content creators for cricket and football on Almighty Sports Plus, and I think Abel knows the stuff inside out for both as well. So people, give Abel a follow. His Instagram link is below in the description. Give him a follow. हम आगे जा रहे हैं साथ साथ में. अब ये भी मैं बोलिए, मैं अली गेमिंग के कमेंट में आ रहा हूँ. do check out the description, because the description will give, at least I know Pakistani fans might be disappointed, but again, you can utilize this position, this moment to kind of get something for you, just to kind of as in make yourself happy. That could be a jersey. You will get a free jersey, and of course it could be a second jersey as well that you could get. Plus, apart from that, you get some bonus. So play along. The description has that link, the very first line. That's Porticos. Big up to them, absolutely. Ali Gaming is saying we need an opening change. We can't have our openers not use power play. It's so important, and England proved it today by winning the power play. Again, I think Shaheen Shafri ने जब moment जब लिया था, मुझे लग रहा था वही 1982 वाला. But still, वही है, Phil Salt coming in. And remember, people, able will add to that. Phil Salt is a guy who's actually an opener who actually takes the people on in power play. And somewhere down the line, Abel, that's a blessing in disguise. Imagine David Malan in that situation. Honestly, I could see him getting nervous. Just saying, hota hai na? Hindsight is a beautiful thing.
Maybe. I mean, you can look everything into hindsight, saves and buts, but the fact is that Phil Salt's 10 runs on 9 balls doesn't look very good in status when you look at stats. But then he came and gave that kind of he showed intent, right?
Yeah, his
So
aggression
it's
was
all
clear.
about psychological factors in World Cup finals. Who actually holds the nerve? Who shows more intent? Who wins smaller phases of play? And I think England that did that beautifully in actually controlling it, and especially towards the end. You know what did England do really well? At one point, the gap between balls and runs were 14 to 12. I thought there the pressure was slightly mounting on England, but what England did was very good. You know what England did was they knew Shaheen Afridi is injured, he's going to come back. We could target him, or if Shaheen Afridi is not there, we could target the weaker baller, and that's what they did. Iftikhar came on the ball, they scored a boundary and they hit him for a six, and the pressure was absolutely released. And next over they hit Mohammad Wasim for 12 runs. That's equal. I think the last 2 overs went for 26 runs. The game was done and dusted. Pakistan in the last 4 overs just scored 18 runs, and that's what England did in 4 balls over there. The game is done and dusted there. That's what I'd say. Small faces, who wins these small faces in T20 cricket always goes on to win the big match. Even when we talk about the India versus England game, we talk about how India did not win the power play and England went on to win the power play. I think in T20 cricket, it's often that who wins the power play goes on to have a better. I know England lost 3 wickets in the power play, but look at the run rate at which they were going. They gave 49, then was it in was 90 of 84 balls. You would expect any modern day team to chase it down with the number of wickets they had, and also to look at the batting depth. Till number 11, they had players who had first class hundreds. You couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, by the way, let me just see 1 second. Let me just see if I can share it in my community on the Almighty Sport Place. By the way, I've just tagged you able on Twitter as well. Again, people, a tweet has gone out. So if you can just retweet, that will be brilliant. Nawaz se bowling क्यों नहीं कर रहे? By Nawaz, honestly, there were two left-handers pretty early. मतलब वही है. I think they were about what 70. Let me just see the fall of wickets again. I think they were about. Let me just say 80, okay, 84 for 4. But I think at that point is when usually Nawaz comes on, if at all, right? As in again, they didn't anticipate the injuries as well, right?
Babar Azam, the moment there's a left-hander, he never turns to Nawaz. He's so underconfident of bowling Nawaz if there's a left-hander. Regardless of what it is, the moment there's a left-hander in the crease, it doesn't turn to Nawaz. And that's been the pattern which Babar Azam has followed. And he's got no confidence in Nawaz as well. Because of the tournament which Nawaz has had, he has had a nightmare of a tournament, both with the bat and also with the ball, and or when it comes to his brain fade moments as well. So he's a very underconfident cricketer at this moment, and Babar Azam has shown no confidence to him at all, except for him bringing him to ball against Glenn Phillips in the semi-final, which I thought was a very good move. Even there, he just bowled a couple of overs and he removed him once again when there was a left-hander to bat. So I personally think, Babar Azam should have trusted Nawaz a lot more. I thought when Harry Brooks came on to bat, he should have used Nawaz. Maybe, you never know. You got a couple of wickets there, and the wicket was aiding spin. Let's remember that wicket was aiding spin big time. Maybe that's where he missed the trick. I totally think.
And also, like, I don't know, like, I know it just started drizzling for like a couple of overs around that period. So along with the left-hander thing, plus the fact that it's drizzling, so why get a spinner on when you have your regulars, kind of bowling. Plus, he never anticipated. Like, if I'm not wrong, even Harris Rauf kind of had a stiffness. Plus, obviously, what happened to Shaheen Shah Afridi in the end, we all know that. I think again, Harris Rauf, man, and then the way he saved that boundary, that moment for me, I think, in my opinion, by sub log bol dijiye, the moment of the tournament, yes, I think 90 out of 100 people will say it's going to be Virat Kohli's shot. But in the longer scheme of things, how much was it really effective? Honestly, I'm a Virat fan. मैं खुद बोल रहा हूँ यार, which was the moment of the tournament? Everyone in the chat let me know. For me, it was that moment, and I know Pakistan are losers, but in the final that is, but they are winners. मतलब दिल जीत लिया यार मेरे. Haris Rauf ने जो डाई मारा था, despite having a fitness, a stiffness, he definitely would have pulled a muscle, and the way he saved that one run, just one run, I think he really outstretched himself. I don't know what was your
I
moment
mean,
of the match or the tournament.
they really gave it their all. I mean, to be honest, even Shaheen Afridi coming back to ball, knowing that
Correct? Yeah.
he did an injury again to the injury which he already sustained 3 months ago, and I thought that was just brilliant. Just giving it all in the World Cup final. You as players, you live for these moments, right? जो भी है
Yeah.
अभी जाके you want to come back and do it well in bilateral, but then you want, what is your ultimate goal? To play in a World Cup final. How many opportunities do you get to play in a World Cup final? What if he doesn't ever get an opportunity to play in a World Cup final? So these are the moments you want to live as a cricketer. These are the moments you want to give it all as a cricketer. Pakistan really won the hearts, man. They really truly won the hearts of every cricket fan. They made 137 look like a 150 score. Credit to them, because they were the best bowling unit of this World Cup. But I would still say it's the batting which has let them down again. Um, and to be honest, Babar Azam, as we spoke about Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul in Indian team, I think it's time for Pakistan to look beyond Babar Azam. To be honest, as an analytical captain, and I really look him as an analytical captain. He's a good man manager, but when it comes to T20 tactics, he's never been that great. He's always missed a trick here or there. When it comes to his batting, it's not doing Pakistan team any good, especially in big
Mhm.
tournaments. He's getting found out time and time again. It's okay you score runs against Zimbabwe. It's okay you score runs against South Africa's B team, West Indies, Sri Lanka at home. What's the point? I'm not comparing anybody, but then I hope people are able to take this in that way. And what Virat Kohli did in Babar Azam's age was totally different. People are comparing Babar Azam to Virat Kohli. I think it's never a comparison. Virat Kohli alone led India to 2016 World Cup semi-final. He took them single handedly, right? The knock against 82. He was man of the. He had two man of the tournaments at the age of Babar Azam. What Babar Azam is right now, he had two man of the tournaments in T20 World Cups. Babar Azam is not even there. He's not even close. So the impact which Virat Kohli had, but Babar Azam in big tournaments has been a letdown. Let's be very honest. Even in 2019 World Cup, he had a couple of hundreds, but when it came to big occasions, he did fail big time as well. So that's where I personally think.
I think that we are talking about different players. Like again, I don't want to sound so negative. Again, Pakistani fans already are feeling negative. I know that. भाई लेकिन आप लोग के लिए बोल रहा हूँ भाई Pakistani fans especially. देखिए बाबर आजम for me is a top cricketer. I'm not going to say that he's not, but again, Abel also believes in that. लेकिन the thing is, he's not the kind of guy who's going to be playing on match winning innings time and again. Like he can do like the century marathon in Pakistan in a match series. That is the kind of start that he need for him to kind of build on that. I don't think he's the kind of guy who can say, for example, wickets get the other end, he kind of wins you the match away and all that. He's a different kind of guy. For me, yeah, in maybe a 50-over format, I would actually
Yeah,
honestly stick out my neck and say that wow, Babar Azam actually has got that. In a T20 I still have my doubt, but again he is part of the team. ऐसा नहीं कि रोल नहीं है, उसका एक रोल है. प्रॉब्लम यही है ना, again when he knows that he's not able to hit the ball, he needs to rotate more, or the other people need to kind of hit. And did he do that enough? That is what the big question mark is. They did take a lot of, I think, twos and threes, but I don't think they took a lot of singles. That was very
and also
surprising for me.
Ankit
But
Bhai, the fact is that T20 game has been moving at a rapid pace. We've been speaking about the Indian batters, the intent, the strike rate they've got. I think considering that, and England winning today is an example how fast
Mhm.
T20 game has moved on. Or last year when Australia won, it was just stamping that hallmark once again, saying that see, T20 game has reached here. This is what the demands of the game are. So when you look at the demands of the game, I think Babar Azam and Rizwan, their opening pair is not meeting the demands of the game. So that's why I think I am totally a big fan of Azam Khan in Pakistan team, son of
Mhm.
Moin Khan, and he's been doing a fantastic job. The way he has gone and done well in CPL, PSL, wherever I've been following him very closely. Such a talent. I know his fitness issues has been one thing, a little bit on the heavy side. But then, boy, this guy can dive around, man. He's still got it in him. He can still dive around. He can give you runs, and he's got intent. He's a very positive player. I think bringing him into the team for the next World Cup is a positive move I'm looking at. And there are some players to watch out for even in the PSL. Some youngsters, some young batters who I'm looking at. But Harris, this Mohammad Harris lad is a very good move. It's a positive move. It's a move in the right
Yeah.
direction because he's the one who really came out and gave them that push. See, you can play in this manner. I can be the changing factor, and he helped them to win 3 matches, and that those 3 matches are what helped them to reach the final. Hence, I'm believing you need to have more of these players in your team to win T20 tournaments. You have got the bowling attack. There is no doubt about it. You've got the best bowling attack in the world. All what you need is the batting lineup up top, maybe to bring in some of the most fearless players, put them right there, give them the license to go out and play. And I also think, do not let go of Matthew Hayden. Matthew Hayden has brought in a positive change
Wow,
in leadership.
exactly. The mentality, talk about mentality. That, as in just like, okay, if, we can do it kind of thing. That's something that is stayed with them, and it's quite evident that Matthew Hayden has really helped there. And again, Matthew Hayden, I know that, like he's feeling part of it. Like it's not just like he's just doing a job. It's very clear that he's feeling very much part of it. So it's both ways, in my opinion. Shadab Khan ka run out of Conway, semi-final. Okay, again, it could it could have been Rahul's run out. I think, in the Bangladesh game, Rahul ji ने run out किया था, like it didn't happen the moment of the tournament. But again, Miller's wicket against Netherlands, interesting one. That I think यहाँ पर
Yes.
काफी लोग बोल रहे that there were a lot of wides that Pakistan bowled, but you remember the game? What happened? I know that I think it was 66 runs of 60 balls or something like that, and I think who was it? Was it Naseem who was
Mohammad
coming out to bowl? Naseem was
Mohammad
coming out to bowl,
Yeah.
and उस समय I think Harris Rauf had a stiffness, so he was at mid off, or he had a chat with him. I don't know, whatever. It inspired him, and he was bowling 148 per hour, bro. As in the next two deliveries.
Yeah.
I think somewhere down the line, I think they really tried. वो clear था, but even otherwise, right? When I think England were bowling very first over, I think there were a couple of wide. So it happens. It happens, and sometimes I know that wide boundaries हो तो भाई और भी ज़्यादा extra
You
दिखते
know
हैं.
what's funny? It just went as per the script as well. Even 1992 final, the first ball was a no ball, and then everybody was like, "Wow, this is happening all over once again." But then, that's what they say. In sport, you can't go as per a script. But then, it's good. It's all good emotional side. There was a hype about 92 alongside it. But nonetheless, Pakistan team will be very pleased with this run from where they were to where they ended up. I think that's a huge turnaround. You have to give credit to them for that. And yeah, West Indies also scored 137 in the final, but that was a ranked turn in Sri Lanka. I mean, the moment they scored 137, that's how I thought, okay, this is good enough on this wicket. But yeah, talking about that, Pakistan's turnaround has been remarkable. I think it's one of the best turnarounds in recent times in a world stage, where you lost to Zimbabwe also. First match to India was a heartbreak. After that, going to lose to Zimbabwe, everybody rolled them off. I know Netherlands did them a favor and South Africa really choked. But the fact is that to get your opportunity, defeating South Africa wasn't easy. You were 43 for 4. From there on to go on to win that match, score 180 odd. Credit there to win against New Zealand, a quality New Zealand team in the semi-final. That was just outstanding as well. So Pakistan did a lot of things right. So they've got everything set up. I think that's why I think they just have to build on from here on. Maybe make a couple of changes up top, as everyone is saying. Maybe remove one of them. Maybe put one of them in the middle. Maybe shift one of them in the top. Maybe bring Shan Masood up top and make Babar Azam bat at number 3 or Rizwan bat at number
Yeah, I
3.
think that's a good option. In fact, well, left hand, right hand, which I don't believe in, but for opening, it does matter because for ball swings and it's difficult to control. So I think Shan Masood opening and Babar Azam three. Only problem with that is, by agar Pakistan ka acha start hota hai na, then Babar Azam becomes a misfit even more so. That is the
Yes.
only problem
If I
with
have to
that.
give my honest
Otherwise,
opinion, Babar Azam is not a fit into this T20 team, and it's
हाँ.
not been. I mean, I'm being very honest because
The
um,
problem वही है ना, मतलब they don't have a batter who can be an anchor who can change gears.
years,
As
yeah,
in
exactly.
Rizwan, he can do, but again, not much.
See,
He's not an
Rizwan has
ideal
got
guy.
so much of technical flaws in him. I think he's going to be found out very soon because he's very much well leg side dominant. And
Hmm.
now with data and everything going in, Rizwan has got one shot, which is to sit on the feet and to play that scoop over a square leg, or to play a pull from outside the off stump. So these are shots which people will take a note of, and it's already been taken note in the World Cup. Hence, Rizwan did not have the best of the World Cup. And Babar Azam is technically one of the most sound batters in Test cricket and One Day cricket, but is he fitting into a T20 culture? Is he fitting? Is he a right player for this kind of a team who wants to revolutionize once again? I really don't think so. I know Pakistan relies a lot on their bowling, but when it matters the most in big occasions, you need a batter who can change gears. And that's what Pakistan is missing. Maybe Azam Khan, bring him into the team. How he goes about, let's see how he really goes. I have a lot of hopes from him. Maybe put him in an Iftikhar. I think Iftikhar had done nothing wrong. Iftikhar had a very good
He's
World
not
Cup.
done nothing wrong, but at that position, you need match winner. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I know, मतलब हम compare करें, we are probably spoiled having a Surya Kumar and Hardik, in those kind of positions. But that's the difference, right? I think for Pakistan to be relying on someone, again, that is the position जहाँ पर rely करते हो. Why did India not do well in the 50-over format in 2019? Because we missed that number 4. We knew that number 4, 5 is very crucial, beat any format, in my opinion, because that can change the match. Oh, hota hai na, where you have a chance, you can either screw it up, or you can basically take it to the next level, and that is
And
the
I also
position we're
want to see
talking about.
Shadab batting a little more higher up the order. Him batting at number 5 is ideal for him.
I
I mean, he's
think
got the game.
that's with all due respect, bro. I disagree. I think Shadab is good because, again, do they have enough hitters low down? I know that Asif has probably hit in the past, but
I mean,
again,
Asif is no good. I mean, to be very fair, Asif has got so many issues. Haider Ali has been a huge disappointment. But then the fact is that Haider Ali is an opener. You're playing him at number 6. It's not justice to him. It's like playing Rohit Sharma at
Mhm.
number 6 and saying that go and smash. He's never done well there, right? These kind of players want
Right.
the new ball. And I'll tell you one instance, Ankit Bhaiya. England and Pakistan were playing their warm up game, the first warm up game in Gabba. Haider and Shan Masood opened. They were 6 over 60 runs. That's the first time I
Mhm.
saw a Pakistan team batting this well in the power play, and I think that kind of says a story. You bring right players in the right position. Maybe it could be a change. It could be a welcome change. Maybe give Haider Ali more balls up top, new ball, give him power play, and see how he goes about. He's done nothing wrong. You're making him bat number 5, number 6. It's unfair on that player as well. How can a player who's batted all across all his career at opening to go out there number 6 and bat in Australia at number 6 and tell him to change gears on the word go? It doesn't happen like that. So I think there have been a lot of misfits. They've not used the players to their best utility as well. Maybe playing Fakar Zaman at number 3 is also not a good idea. He's not done great in number 3. He's an opener once again. So they've got so many opening options. I think they should find middle order batters right now. The moment they find middle order batters who can really turn the game from ball one of them is Mohammad Aris. He's got a potential. I really see a potential Azam Khan. Shadab, he can be used in important, crucial junctures. Iftikhar has a long way to go, but I don't think he's a bankable option. But he is still, because look, when you talk about batting talent, it's like India's bowling talent. But abhi India mein bowling talent kafi hai, but they do not have the plethora riches like what we say. Today we are able to say that all these 11 players should be shifted in Indian team and bring another 11 players because we know the depth we have. We can say
Correct.
another 11 players right now because of the depth we have, and they can possibly go on to do well as well. But that's not the case in Pakistan. They do not have a player to go out there to replace Babar Azam.
Yeah, again, this is a graphic for people who joined late. Again, clearly दिख रहा है कि there are issues when it comes to the middle overs, and the end overs even more so. Again, power play, भाई आप बोल सकते हो, yes, but again, I think power play में जितना मैं बोलूँगा, I know there were comments earlier that I think somewhere down the line it's of the conditions as well. Remember in Melbourne, I think amongst all the grounds, it has swung most in Melbourne, right, in the
Yeah.
first few overs. So I think somewhere down the line, I can still take that. But if I'm a Pakistan supporter, I'll be very concerned in the 15 to 20 over mark. That is something that they are really missing. अगर भाई एक जन नहीं चलता भाई दूसरा जन है नहीं उनके पास. That's the main problem. Again, particularly speaking about batsmen. और by the way, हम discuss करने वाले about England and India absolutely because वो तो भाई default आता ही है and champions and the people who have kind of disappointed हम बात करेंगे भाई. लेकिन अगेन आप देखिए इंडिविजुअली भी जो बता रहे थे एबल, अगेन थैंक्स टू एबल वी हैव बीन एबल टू गेट दिस ऑन स्क्रीन. तो check it out. It's very clear that there have been issues when it comes to certain batsmen. और वहां पर I think they need to relook again. मतलब एबल मैं बोलूंगा, I'll stick out my neck and say, just like India, we've been telling right that why don't India play in BBL etc. There's Rahul Dravid खुद ने बोला है अगर if they allow, it's there's a decision and we'll go by that, but it'll definitely help. Pakistan ka to some extent, again, that IPL thing, which I believe is not going to happen. I know it's sensitive, but the reality is that they are missing out. I think the talent is there in Pakistan. I think that next level, not taking the pressure to the next level in terms of hitting, etc. I think IPL may, if they are allowed, bro, trust me,
Yeah, I
this.
think it's going to make IPL also much more flavorful. Like देख के मेरे को पता है आरसीबी में डेथ बॉलर्स का थोड़ा कमी है. I would take someone like a Haris Rauf, I'll take this lad and I'm like आ जाओ यार मैं. We need Pakistanis also to come to this league. I know political tensions काफी है, but I don't see it happening, to be very honest. And if it does happen at some stage, I hope it does happen at some stage. It's just going to be beautiful. It's just going to be beautiful because the thing is that then it's going to beat all the boundaries. Because Australians, now already you're seeing players having a lot more camaraderie. Now you're going to see a lot more. And not just that, I think it will benefit the talent as well, especially the batters to come out there, meet the modern day demands, batting against maybe a young batter from Pakistan coming batting against a Jofra Archer in an IPL game, doing well there, and you can actually say it is the world, it is a breeding ground for talent. It is the biggest league in the world. I know we have not won a World Cup after having IPL. But what about English football team after having Premier League? It's one of the best leagues in the world. They've not won a Premier League. It's the same debate, right? You got players all across. The quality of competition is right there. The fact is that have we used all the IPL talents in our team, or are we breaking the best team from IPL into our into the cricket team? We are not, right? Let's be very honest. If the best performers
Hmm.
from IPL were in the Indian team, we would have possibly said we would have had a better time. If we would have had Prithvi Shaw, Yashasvi Jaiswal, or maybe likes of Sanju Samson. All these lads have done exceedingly well in IPL, but are they there in the team right now? No. So that's a factor. We have stuck onto the old guns. They're stuck onto a very outdated version of game, and that's why we have actually had to face the brunt of things. That's why we failed to qualify into the final, and we got hammered. And in one way, I believe it's a blessing in disguise. I shouldn't be saying this, but then it is a blessing in disguise. I think we have hit the rock bottom finally, and
Dude,
from here on,
blessing in disguise, I understand, bro. लेकिन इतना, to some extent, there has to be a full stop. I don't want these
I
disappointments
mean,
anymore,
until
bro.
I'll say one thing, right? Why is this team losing out on big occasions? Because these same players are playing in all the big ICC knockouts for the last 7 years. 2014 is when we started losing in big ICC knockouts. The
Losing is a
final
habit.
where that's where it started. So these are the same set of players. How many players have we changed from that final to now? It's almost same set of players. And how many finals are they going to keep on losing? And it's going to get to you at some stage. Every time you walk into a final, the baggage is going to be there. And why did we win 2007 T20 World Cup? That in itself says a story. Is that very World Cup did not have the big names who lost the 2007 50 over World Cup. There were baggage
Mhm.
for cricketers who were trying to make a mark in international cricket, who knew they had nothing to lose. They went on to play some fearless brand there. So that in itself
Mhm.
says T20 was always about fearless brand of cricket. T20 was always for the youngsters. I would, T20 is about the youngsters, and even old team has won it. Chennai Super Kings is an ideal example where age is on number. But look at their mindset. They played fearless brand of cricket throughout. So I think these players are getting to the occasion. For when you talk about Chennai Super Kings, they have an history of winning championships. That's why they are not choking in the big occasion, though they are older in age. But Indian team
Right.
in the recent past have an history of losing it out on the big occasion. They're being very timid. That's a word I'll use in big occasion, and that's not going to help you win the big trophies or when you talk about winning the big moments. Look at English team. For example, Alex Sales on the day of the semi-final morning, he was playing golf. How chill is that? I know Andrew, Peel
वो
Rose.
वो तो मैं बोलता हूँ, the difference being that Alex Hales बैटिंग में भी golf भी खेलता है. That's the
हाँ,
difference, right? तो I think that with India we know that KL Rahul से compare कर रहे हैं भाई. As much as the guy can play brilliant shots, but I know that why the pun is there. Everyone understands that, right? By
yeah,
when of a KL Rahul.
absolutely.
बेचारा यार अभी तो मौका ही बन गया यार KL Rahul का. मतलब
I
on a
mean, to be
personal note I
honest,
feel for him.
KL Rahul, we all expected him to final and semi-final. That's a funny part. We expected
Yeah.
him to fail.
And
Now
it's not,
that is that
is
that
it
says
his
a
fault?
story, right?
But that's the thing. I would rather blame the captain and the coach and the management rather than him. वो तो भाई, अगर I'm in KL Rahul shoes, मैं थोड़े बोला नहीं यार, please, I'm not doing well. Don't take me. यार, come on. That's not going to happen, right?
I mean,
So.
honestly saying, it is about this lad not able to even. This lad is scared of the occasion. I keep telling
Mhm.
again, again. If you're going to be in T20, you cannot, feel like kya ho jayega if I take risk. It's about okay. What if when I take risk, this is the reward I get. It's okay if I get out. Now that is a mindset you should go into a T20 game with. You are losing 3 wickets in the power play. Can I still score 170? That is the only way to play T20 cricket. We've seen them with the best. England is a prime example. And I keep telling it time and time again, Indian team, we are scared of losing wickets. We're scared. Like if we take risk, what if we get out? But they're not looking at the reward of taking the risk. The moment you look at the reward of taking the risk, you will play in a certain way. And KL Rahul, to an extent, he deserves the criticism he's deserving. I don't know what is a mental block with him. And let's be very honest, if you have mental blocks in T20 cricket, you can't sustain with the
You
game.
can't,
Because this
you
game is a
can't even
quick
do it.
game.
करेक्ट. नो, आई एग्री एब्सोल्युटली यार. वही है, मुझे लगता है मतलब गोइंग बैक टू दैट मोमेंट ना, द फैक्ट इज जो भी उनका फ्रेंचाइज था भाई, पहली बार वो कैप्टन बनाए गए ना, आई थिंक दैट वाज द डिफरेंस मेकर व्हाई हिज एटीट्यूड चेंज. मतलब 2016 वाला केएल वाज फार डिफरेंट एंड दैट्स व्हाट प्रॉब्ली पीपल लाइक्ड, बट नाउ अगेन
But
वही
you
है, व्हेन
know
यू गेट
what,
रिस्पांसिबिलिटी.
Ankit Bhaiya, this lad has always faced pressure. I remember his first innings he played in Melbourne in 2014, where he played against Australia in a Test match. And right after that, he gave an interview where he said that he was very scared. He was shit scared to go to the final and play into Melbourne and play. So that usually that kind of sends a message of the kind of attitude this player, that kind of character he has. But when we talk about Rishabh Pant, the Prithvi Shaw is like, I was super chill going into Melbourne. I want to go and smash Australian ball. Look at the mindset difference. It's a contrast. A player saying that I was taken away by the occasion, and a player who says I just wanted to go and prove myself. So that in itself says, what's the difference between a player who goes out there to go express himself. And that's why I think KL Rahul has really fallen behind. He's occasion has always gotten him to him. He used to play for RCB, right? 2016 IPL final, he had an opportunity to win it for us. I know he was very young there. He choked even there. IPL qualifier, he got off a duck. And since then, I was like, is he the right player? I mean, now looking back at it, he has never stepped up in big occasions. He's always
Yeah.
failed in big occasions,
He-
time
He's
and time.
basically Andreas Christensen of cricket, bro. Simply put, if you know, like what I mean, the
Yeah,
guy is
yeah.
actually.
But Christensen had a good game in the Champions League final against City. I'll accept
Ha,
that.
as an exception, he did. But again, he was a substitute, right? So maybe if he would have started, who knows? He's like, okay, fine. But anyway, भाई सब लोग जो भी है, again, do not forget to like the stream. Absolutely, yes, हम बात कर रहे हैं about Indian cricket अभी के लिए, but we are going to come back to the England Pakistan review little bit more as well. और हम pick करेंगे, moments of the tournament, be it as in coach of the tournament,
I think
captain of the
Ankit bhai,
tournament,
I'll take a
everything.
leave right now
Okay,
because
fair
I have
enough.
another show to catch up in
नो
another
प्रॉब्लम.
5
सो
minutes.
भाई पीपल उसी नोट पर डू गिव अ फॉलो टू एबल एज वेल. अगेन एबल का जो इंस्टाग्राम लिंक है, इट्स देयर इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो. अगेन ही नोज स्टफ. अगेन एबल, थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग ऑन. आई नो इट वाज अ शॉर्ट नोटिस, बट वही है. आज आई वाज इन टू माइंड, व्हाट डू आई डू, बट अगेन ग्रेट टू एक्चुअली हैव यू. Of course, the cricket season is there. Again, we have to look it positively. So we'll be discussing a lot more, and of course, football as well. Job karte able on this channel, but big up आपको, और we'll see again. All the best for Indian cricket यार, साथ में अपन
Yeah,
दोनों को.
I
और क्या
think we will
बोलूंगा.
do a show on that in depth to understand
Absolutely.
what's
We
going
need to, we need to, we need to. I'll take a few more comments and then I'll end. And I'll
on.
obviously
Bye
have
bye,
a
bye bye,
couple of
Ankit bhai. I'll
topics.
see you.
So I'll see you soon. But everyone in the chat, bhai, sab log jo bhi hai, again, I am requesting everyone to not only hit the like button, it certainly helps the stream and the channels, but also check out the description. Check out the description because, yes, you might be an Indian fan, an England fan, a Pakistani fan, or just a neutral. I must say that this is a great opportunity because Almighty Sport Plus, in association with Sporticos, along with Almighty Blues FC, of course, हमारा दूसरा channel, are bringing a great opportunity for you to get a absolutely free jersey, and not just that, a second jersey as well potentially. पहला वाला guaranteed है, second वाला basically you can get, and of course a bonus which is also guaranteed. अगर if you follow the procedure which is in the link in the description below, पहला ही line in the link has that, so give it a watch as well and read, and then let me know on that. भाई सचिन, हंसने की बात तो नहीं है, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट सचिन. आई नो दैट ये मौका हमें मिला है, लेकिन भाई सबसे पहले सचिन इंडिया इंडिया में ज्यादा हंसने की बात है, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट अबाउट इट. भाई honestly, Pakistan has at least gone to the final. They have at least fought hard. Yes, Babar Azam ka, you can agree that जो हुआ था in terms of his batting performance, not up to the mark, I must say. लेकिन to lead that team is also not easy. Remember, that's one of the most unpredictable teams that you're leading. So it's not easy in my opinion. Plus field में भाई उन्होंने क्या effort दिखा यार. It was a low score. Let's be honest. 137 is not 167. हमने कितना 168 किया था, उसमें कैसा आगा था इंग्लैंड के साथ. भाई इंग्लैंड अगर हमारे साथ खेलते ना, सच में मैं बोलता हूँ, yes it was a final, it was a different pitch, all that I agree. लेकिन I believe that 137 if India would have bowled, no, England would have won, and I'm not even saying just for the sake of it. 15 ओवर के अंदर मैच खत्म हो जाता. यहाँ पर they went to the 19th over, remember, almost 20th over, and not just that, with, remember, Shaheen Shah Afridi bowling only 2.1 overs. People are forgetting that. I know वो रहते भी तो मेरे ख्याल से तो मैंने ऑलरेडी थंबनेल बना लिया था और मैंने डाल दिया था, people commented also. लेकिन close रहता मैच और भी, in my opinion, it would have gone to the final delivery. Who knows if Shaheen Shah Afridi would have been. I would still say कि England would have won the cup for sure. लेकिन हाँ, यहाँ पर again, I think यहाँ पर कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है ना, जो नसीम शाह का जो वाइड बॉल्स थे, प्लस द फैक्ट दैट मोहम्मद वसीम जूनियर, दीज टू दे हैव टारगेटेड प्रॉपर्ली, और आई थिंक दे वुड हैव डन बेटर. वहीं पर कर सकते थे. और इफ्तिकार अहमद, आई नो 5 बॉल्स बोल के, आई डोंट नो, दे शुड हैव रेस्ट हिम फॉर वन मोर ओवर आफ्टर दैट. थोड़ा सा मतलब जस्ट काइंड ऑफ आउट ऑफ द ब्लू. लेकिन अगेन ईदर वेज आई थिंक इंग्लैंड ही फेवरेट थी एट दैट पॉइंट, कंसिडरिंग कि यार पाकिस्तान का लोअर ऑर्डर एक्चुअली फेल हुआ था इन माय ओपिनियन. ठीक है, लोअर ऑर्डर इफ्तिकार अहमद है, नवाज फेल हुए थे इन माय ओपिनियन. They should have done better. लेकिन हाँ, इंग्लैंड का they did well when it comes to Harry Brooks, Ben Stokes, of course, मोइन अली, जो लास्ट में जो मारे थे ना मोइन अली एक ओवर में, भाई that was a very important over जहाँ पे I believe he got 3 fours. So that was extremely important. Of course, Ben Stokes 6 as well before that, if I remember right. जो just about गया था long off के ऊपर, everyone. And yes, of course, Prabhat, thanks for saying that, bro. In MCG, India bowled well though. हाँ, मतलब again, MCG has been a पिच जहां पर बॉल स्विंग हो रही थी. इंडिया को वही ना एमटी के, दैट इज ऑल माय पॉइंट. देखिए ये पाकिस्तान अटैक और ये इंग्लैंड अटैक भी बोलूंगा मैं, इंग्लैंड इंडिया के साथ, इंडिया को कंडीशंस चाहिए। अगर बुमराह नहीं है ना, अगर चहल नहीं है जिनको खिलाया नहीं, आई बिलीव इंडिया नीड कंडीशंस, वो डिफरेंस हो जाता है। विदाउट कंडीशंस हम नहीं कर पाते, दैट्स द ऑनेस्ट ट्रुथ, ठीक है। इट्स हार्श बट इट्स द ऑनेस्ट ट्रुथ, वो सच है। तो वहीं पर आई थिंक इंडिया हैव टू काइंड ऑफ बिल्ड मोर, कहीं ना कहीं वी आर मिसिंग आउट एब्सोल्युटली, और इट्स जस्ट अ सिलेक्शन मे बी, और इट्स अ बिट ऑफ बोथ। केएल शुड रिटायर एंड डू सम, आई हियर दैट विशाल, आपका पूरा पॉइंट मैंने पढ़ा है ऑनेस्टली। भाई केएल, राहुल, भाई आप बोलो यार, टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट में आप एटलीस्ट खिला लो यार, मतलब नहीं, टेस्ट मैच वनडे में भी मैं बोलूंगा खिला लो। T20 में आई वुड बी डाउटिंग, क्योंकि T20 में थिंग्स चेंज लाइक दिस। आप एक्स्ट्रा एक तो आउट हो जाते हो टॉप मैचेस में, और अगर खेलते भी हो तो योर स्ट्राइक रेट इज लाइक हाउ ऑलमोस्ट बाबर आजम डिड टुडे फॉर एग्जांपल। अगेन आई एम नॉट सेइंग एनीथिंग अगेंस्ट बाबर आजम, लेकिन फैक्ट है, एवरी इवन पाकिस्तानी सपोर्टर्स, आप लोग बोलिए जो है सब्सक्राइबर्स हमारे देख रहे, लेट मी नो, रिजवान बाबर आजम का जो है चलता है ना, इन टर्म्स ऑफ रन्स ग्रेट भाई, लेकिन आपका स्ट्राइक रेट, यू नीड अ बेटर स्टार्ट, कंसिडरिंग आपके मिडिल ऑर्डर में यू हैव एन इफ्तिकार एटसेट्रा हु नॉट एज कंसिस्टेंट एज वेल। तो वहां पर दे नीड टू डू मोर, वन बैटर नीड्स टू गो लिटिल बिट बैंग बैंग, इज व्हाट आई वुड से। बट भाई आप लोग का मैं लूंगा टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट, हमने ऑलरेडी कर लिए थे सेमीफाइनल में। हाँ, इन केस यू वांट टू इंक्लूड समवन राइट नाउ फ्रॉम व्हाट वी हैड पिक, लेट मी नो। मतलब अगर जो ओनली बेस्ड ऑन सेमीफाइनल परफॉर्मेंसेस हु गेट्स इनटू द टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट ओनली बिकॉज सेमीफाइनल परफॉर्मेंस, लेट मी नो इन द चैट। मेरे ख्याल से अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ ना, अगेन मैं स्कोर कार्ड अगर मैं शेयर करूँ वापस से, यहाँ पर मुझे नहीं लगता कि यार समवन हु इज रियली गेटिंग जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ सेमीफाइनल, बिकॉज इट्स अ लॉन्ग टूर्नामेंट। लेकिन हाँ, यू कैन आर्ग्यू दैट बेन स्टोक्स टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट में डालोगे, आई डोंट नो, आई डाउट इट टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई डोंट थिंक ही हैड द टूर्नामेंट दैट यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम अ बेन स्टोक्स। लेकिन मैन ऑफ द मैच आपके लिए कौन है, मतलब यू वुड से बेन स्टोक्स कंसिडरिंग वो नर्व्स रखे लास्ट तक, बट इन माय ओपिनियन मैन ऑफ द मैच है सैम करन। मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट दिया गया सैम करन को, मेरे मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट अभी के लिए डेफिनेटली विराट कोहली। हाँ मैं विराट फैन हूं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ यार, मेरे ख्याल से मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट शुड नॉट बी अ टीम अवार्ड, इट शुड बी एन इंडिविजुअल अवार्ड। और आई थिंक विराट कोहली आउटबैटेड एवरीवन, एंड दैट, लेट्स बी रियल। अगर विराट कोहली होते, मैं तो ये भी कॉन्फिडेंट था भाई फाइनल में अगर जाते हम वहां भी करते। विराट हैड दैट थिंग इन हिम दिस टाइम। अगेन आई हैव क्रिटिसाइज्ड हिम इन द पास्ट फॉर पीपल हु फॉलो द चैनल फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम एज वेल, मैं फैन हूं लेकिन भाई नॉट अ स्टैन, एंड देयर इज अ डिफरेंस ऑफ दैट। लेकिन हाँ, यहाँ पर मैं लेता हूँ और कमेंट्स, आई गेस upcoming T20 series in New Zealand will decide template for next T20 World Cup 2024, not yet, नॉट येट। मैं बोलता हूँ अभिनव थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंटल रहेगा, अभिनव टेम्पलेट मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, टेम्पलेट probably will start by the next series after that. थ्रो चेतन शर्मा आउट, इज द वर्स्ट सेलेक्ट। भाई सेलेक्टर्स को पता ही नहीं है क्या सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, पता ही नहीं है, ट्रस्ट मी भाई। एक साथ चार चार टीम सेलेक्ट करते हैं यार, दो दो टूर्नामेंट्स के लिए, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग। मतलब इज इट इवन मैन्युअली पॉसिबल टू ट्राई एंड सेलेक्ट दोस परम्यूटेशंस एंड कॉम्बिनेशंस? भाई उनको पता नहीं सरफराज खान क्या कर रहे हैं रणजी ट्रॉफी में, उनको पता नहीं क्या चल रहा है मुश्ताक अली में, मतलब लगभग थोड़ा बहुत पता होगा, बट बोल रहे नहीं द गाइड नीड्स टू डू मोर। मतलब इट्स सो शॉकिंग। मैं तो सरफराज का फैन नहीं हूं, बिकॉज उन्होंने जो आरसी में किया था इट्स नॉट गुड आफ्टर वी हैड रिटेन्ड हिम, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट अबाउट हिम। लेकिन the reality is the guy is scoring left right center runs. Prithvi Shaw I believe has been doing really well. तो again I'm not a Prithvi Shaw fan to be very specific, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है he throws away his wicket a bit too often। लेकिन वही है ना, that impact जो इंग्लैंड कर रही है, पृथ्वी शॉ अगर हम चाहते हैं, जो हमने बोला था एज एन इंडियन फैन, हमने बोला था दैट वी आर ट्राइंग दैट मेथड ऑफ गोइंग एग्रेसिव, why isn't Prithvi Shaw even considered? That is very surprising for me. A lot of people, भाई ऋतुराज हो गए, बहुत बहुत सारे लोग हो गए ना, तो लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस। भाई राहुल त्रिपाठी कहीं कहीं भी डाल देते, कहीं से भी, कुलदीप पाजी को कहीं भी डाल देते, मतलब ऐसे थोड़ी होता है। फॉर्मेट एक चीज होती है, जहां पर क्या कर रहे हैं, कहाँ फिटनेस होती है, यू नीड टू टेक एवरीथिंग इनटू कंसिडरेशन। विशाल का पॉइंट पे आई अग्री 100%। India should play Pakistan in a series every year in UAE. I hope it comes true. I hope it comes true. और ये पाकिस्तानी प्लेयर्स विल बी इंप्रूविंग एज वेल, लेकिन इंडियन प्लेयर्स जो हम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट होते हैं ना, वो वहां पर भी थोड़ा लाइन पे आ जाएंगे, बायलैटरल में अच्छा होगा। मैं तो बोलता जब्बार भाई, आई थिंक द एक सोल्यूशन क्या है ना, एशिया कप को और फ्रीक्वेंट करो। मैं तो बोलता हूँ एशिया कप को फ्रीक्वेंट कर दो। व्हाट अबाउट दैट आइडिया? एशिया कप शुड बी मोर फ्रीक्वेंट अगर हो सके तो। टेस्ट ओडीआई ओपनर शुड बी शॉ एंड गिल, थर्ड ओपनर यशस्वी जायसवाल। ओके फेयर इनफ। आई स्टिल हैव माय डाउट, लेकिन देखते हैं, मतलब दे आर गुड प्लेयर्स, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट, लेकिन देखते हैं। ओनली आईपीएल ऑन इंडियन सॉइल, बढ़िया हुआ है पाकिस्तान के साथ। यार अगेन मतलब ये पॉइंट में मैं जनरली मैं भी साथ में आता है यार, बाय म्यूनिख चैम चैम, लेकिन I would like to disagree यहाँ पर. The reason being that even as an Indian fan, मैं बोल रहा हूँ भाई, Pakistan has actually won our hearts. मैं बोल रहा हूँ मेरा तो डेफिनेटली जीता है. एबल जो आए थे पैनल पे, even his opinion was the same. The reason being, जो ट्राई किया ना, डिस्पाइट द इंजरीज ऑन द फील्ड मैन, दैट वो क्लियरली दिख रहा था. दैट लेवल ऑफ फाइट, that level of enthusiasm, that level of never say die attitude, was it there in Indians in semi-finals? Except for Hardik Pandya and Virat, it was not there. So there's something to learn from Pakistan, is my opinion. Ha, batting mein they could have done better, but by it's England you're playing against, right? There's no good communication between team management and selectors. Yes, very good point. We have new captain for almost every series. Yes, 8 captains in 2 years. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल भाई, रेस्ट जबरदस्ती कराते हैं. इन माय ओपिनियन दैट जबरदस्ती का रेस्ट होता है. वो ट्राई करना चाहिए, एक्सपेरिमेंट करते रहते हैं, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे दे डोंट कम टू अ कंक्लूजन. और अगर आते भी है कंक्लूजन, इट टर्न्स आउट टू बी प्लान भी नहीं है. प्लान भी होना चाहिए ना अपने. एनीवे, अदर दिस इज फॉर अनदर डे, हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. मतलब इट कैन बी फॉर डेज एंड नाइट्स टुगेदर, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. बट कमिंग बैक टू द टूर्नामेंट भाई, अगेन आई डोंट सी एनी कमेंट है. तो मुझे लग रहा है आप लोग सेमीफाइनल्स और फाइनल से किसी को नहीं डालोगे. वी हैड पिक द टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट बिफोर द सेमीफाइनल, जस्ट सो यू ऑल नो. लेकिन सेमीफाइनल्स और फाइनल्स के बाद में आई डोंट सी एनीवन गेट्स इनटू टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट. लेकिन आप लोग के लिए कौन है भाई द प्लेयर ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट? ये इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग, बिकॉज़ आई हैव सेड माइन. My player of the tournament has to be Virat Kohli, despite Sam Curran's performance overall. Sam Curran definitely man of the match in the final, and yes, Ben Stokes probably was the guy who won them the match. But I thought Sam Curran ने 4 overs में 12 runs देकर 3 wickets हो दिया था. That set the tone for the match, in my opinion. When will a transition phase start? When अरे भैया मैच अच्छा खेला, but ये अरे मतलब आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, बट कोई नहीं. शुड इंडिया ट्राई ओवरसीज कोच फ्लेमिंग? इफ नॉट, योर ओपिनियन. ओके, देखते हैं यार. मतलब आई वुड स्टिल से दैट राहुल द्रविड़, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना कुछ कोचेस के लिए, आर दे ग्रेट इंस्पिरेशनल फिगर्स इन द ड्रेसिंग रूम. अब राहुल द्रविड़ से आप इंस्पायर नहीं हो रहे तो क्या ही तो बोलूं मैं. लेकिन एक होता है, आर यू गुड वॉइस? आप यू नीड टू बी अ गुड वॉइस एज वेल, एंड मोटिवेटर. जहां तक मुझे आइडिया है जबार भाई, आई थिंक इंडिया लुकिंग एट राहुल द्रविड़ एंड वीवीएस लक्ष्मण का पार्टनरशिप. ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाट दे आर लुकिंग एट. तो मुझे नहीं लगता देयर विल बी अ चेंज. क्या होना चाहिए, आई बिलीव इट्स फाइन. प्रॉब्लम यहां पर क्या है ना, हम एक्चुअली, हमारी सिलेक्शन कमिटी प्रॉब्लम है. वी नीड टू पिक प्लेयर्स हु आर लाइक बर्निंग टू प्ले फॉर इंडिया. मतलब वैसे लोग चाहिए हमें. मतलब दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू हैव. लाइक इंटरव्यू नहीं बोलूंगा, लेकिन एक वन ऑन वन होना चाहिए बिफोर यू आर सिलेक्टेड. देयर शुड बी, आई नो दैट थोड़ा सा ऑलरेडी इतना खेलते हैं लोग क्रिकेट, आई अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दैट, बट देयर शुड बी अ वन ऑन वन. अगेन, आप इंटरव्यू में कुछ भी कर बोल सकते हो, लेकिन क्लियरली दीज आर, मतलब some experienced person, like say for example Sunil Gavaskar, someone should talk to them. I'm just giving an example, but Ravi Shastri in the past jo hue the, but anyone. Lekin a panel should be set up, and they should be allowing the selection committee talk to them and then hand over their cap agar wo introduce kare kisi ko. That is how it should be, honestly speaking, along with jo unhone kiya in pressure moments in all the tournaments jo khelte hain. There has to be a combination of that, in my personal opinion, especially for ICC tournaments jinko cap milta hai first time. But anyway, but positives we have a lot of positives from the tournament. Like for you, what was the positive of the tournament altogether? मतलब मेरे लिए, I saw that cricket in itself was the winner. I saw that cricket बहुत ही close matches हुए. Yes, बारिश हुई, which is something that long term में cricket को सोचना पड़ेगा. I don't think we can rely on बारिश. I know indoor stadiums try किए थे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में in the past, और वहां पे dew factor was an issue. यहाँ पर ड्यू wasn't an issue, but बारिश हुई. Again, batting first, a lot of teams won. I know semi-finals और finals में चीजें अलग थी, लेकिन batting first, a lot of teams won. Another positive, वैसे पिचेस बनाइए भाई बाकी जगह भी, वैसे पिचेस बनाइए, उस टाइमिंग पे रखिए बाकी जगह पे भी. चेक इट आउट. यू डोंट वांट योर टॉस टू विन द मैच. और ये बहुत अच्छा चीज लगा मुझे टूर्नामेंट में. इंडिया के एंगल से देखूं तो आई एम रियली हैप्पी विद अर्शदीप सिंह. अर्शदीप सिंह, आफ्टर व्हाट हैड हैपेंड टू हिम इन द एशिया कप, मैं बोलता हूं भाई अर्शदीप सिंह ने उभर के दिखाया है कि भाई ही कैन बी दैट प्रेशर बॉलर फॉर अस, एंड ही कैन बी अ गुड क्रिकेटर इन द फ्यूचर, अगर वो मोल्ड किया जाए अच्छे से और उसको ज्यादा चेंज नहीं करे. तो आई वुड से अर्शदीप सिंह इज अ ह्यूज पॉजिटिव फॉर मी. ऑफ कोर्स, मतलब ऑब्वियसली सूर्य कुमार यादव, नीडलेस टू से, इट्स अ ह्यूज पॉजिटिव एज वेल. टॉक अबाउट मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट, इट कुड हैव बीन सूर्य कुमार यादव एज वेल, अगर वो खेल लेते इन द बिग सेमीफाइनल. बट somewhere on, I think Surya Kumar Yadav, जो मैंने बोला है काफी बार from the last 1 year on this channel, that he is the next पिन अप बॉय ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेट फ्रॉम लास्ट 1 year मैंने डिक्लेयर किया था, अभी अभी के लिए नहीं. तो इट्स वेरी क्लियर कि बंदे में है क्षमता टू काइंड ऑफ प्ले द प्रेशर मोमेंट्स वेरी वेल, एंड स्पेशली इन द वाइट बॉल फॉर्मेट. संजू से ओपन कराना चाहिए, ही कैन प्ले फियरलेस. संजू सैमसन ये भी आई डोंट नो पॉजिटिव है दैट वी हैव फाइनली रियलाइज्ड और कम टू कंक्लूजन कि भी राहुल नहीं खेल सकता प्रेशर मोमेंट्स. नथिंग अगेंस्ट हिम, भाई बंदे में एबिलिटी नहीं है, सिंपल एज दैट. तो उसको मत खिलाइए यार आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट्स में, मत खिलाइए, सिंपल एज दैट. एक क्लियर है. आई डोंट थिंक इज अ कैप्टन मटेरियल इधर, वो पता लग गया है. मे बी इट्स अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज, मैं तो बोलता हूँ पॉजिटिव है. और संजू सैमसन, राहुल त्रिपाठी, काइंड ऑफ पीपल हु, ईशान किशन, दे आर लिटिल बिट मोर फियरलेस. आई बिलीव दैट दे आर प्रोबब्ली नीडेड. Again, there can be a choice. Shikhar Dhawan coming back, maybe Rohit Sharma will be out and Shikhar Dhawan will be back. I don't know. वो भी एक possibility लग रही है मुझे. Definitely we need foreign coaches because they set a discipline. They do what they should. They take tough decisions because they are there to build something and not bogged down by the power of stars. भाई Gary Kirsten is a great example. MTK, you said it right. बट अगेन एवरी डे इज नॉट अ संडे, हमेशा बोलता हूँ मैं. रीजन मैं बोलता हूँ बिकॉज आप देखिए, यू हैव वही ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस वाला चीज है. यू हैव डन अ सर्टेन थिंग, यू हैव टू ट्वीक अ लिटिल बिट. ऐसा नहीं है कि यार हमने टोटली हगा. यस, एशिया कप वाज अ बिग डिबाकल, आई नो दैट. बट इवन नाउ इंग्लैंड का लॉस इज अ ह्यूज लॉस. बट टेक्निकली वी हैव रीच्ड द सेमीज. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि यार ऑल ऑफ अ सडन यू कैन जस्ट किक देम आउट. तो मैं इतना बोल रहा हूँ कि जस्ट स्टे विद देम, बट डेफिनेटली इट नीड्स द ट्वीक. आप या तो लाओ एक मेंटल कोच लाओ हु इज काइंड ऑफ डूइंग मोर, हु इज काइंड ऑफ वॉइसिंग आपके टीम टॉक्स दे रहे, समथिंग लाइक दैट वी नीड टू डू, especially in ICC tournaments. Is not a type of limited over format coach. Bring someone who's as motivator. Motivator is the key. I don't agree with the limited over format. भाई उनका again I'm telling you, भाई लिमिटेड ओवर्स में उनका जाके रिकॉर्ड चेक करिए. भाई ही इज वो एक बन गया जैसे अपना अपना बन गया ना ऑन ऑलमाइटी ब्लू सिस्टम, ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट प्लेयर. पीपल थिंक दैट आई एम दिस वे ओनली डिस्पाइट डूइंग सो मच वैरायटी ऑफ कंटेंट. भाई राहुल द्रविड़ ने किया है भाई वनडे क्रिकेट में. भाई 2003 में राहुल द्रविड़ वाजंट देयर, हम पहुंचते ही नहीं फाइनल तक. सच में बोल रहा हूं मैं. He played a multiple kind of a role. He did awesome. Rahul Dravid ने against was it New Zealand one of the fastest 50s मारा है. तो he had his thing यार. लेकिन हाँ, he was not. आप अगर कंपेयर करो with a Sachin who's a god for me of that era of cricket, you cannot go there in terms of white ball cricket उस समय का. ठीक है, लेकिन हाँ, he is definitely there. I would not say, but हाँ, I agree. The someone who's motivated and bold or actually gets them to the next level in terms of playing those crucial matches, वो चाहिए हमें. अपने गिरेबान में नहीं झांकने दूसरों के गिरे, या बिल्कुल यार, लोन वुल्फ बिल्कुल. रीजन फॉर नॉट प्लेइंग हर्षल पटेल इन वर्ल्ड कप, एंड इफ नॉट सो व्हाई ही वाज सिलेक्टेड. जबर भाई बिल्कुल, आई वुड से दैट हर्षल पटेल कुड हैव बीन ट्राइड ऑनेस्टली, लेकिन मुझे लगता नहीं था दैट ही वुड हैव बीन पिक्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट अर्लियर इन द टूर्नामेंट भाई अर्शदीप और भुवी अच्छा किए थे. और आप किसके किसके लिए ड्रॉप करते हैं यार आप? मे बी अक्सर, लेकिन अक्सर अगर ड्रॉप होते तो बैटिंग थोड़ी वीक हो जाती है, आप बोल सकते थे. दैट इज व्हाई प्रोबब्ली दे डिडंट गो. प्लस द लेफ्ट हैंड थिंग व्हिच आई डोंट एग्री विद, लेकिन दैट इज समथिंग जो टीम मैनेजमेंट दिखाया था. इफ नॉट अक्सर, आई वुड हैव सेड डायरेक्टली गो फॉर चहल. दैट्स व्हाट दे शुड हैव डन. और थोड़ा सा ब्रेव रहना था. चहल probably the wicket taker more, and of course middle overs में I can understand Harshal is a wicket taker as well. आज विला अच्छा करेगा, चलो देखते हैं. बट सी इन पाक मैच वी नो हाउ वी वन. चलो मैच शुरू हो रहा है क्या विला वाला? देख रहा हूँ भाई, ब्राइटन विला. चलो, बट सी इन पाक मैच वी नो हाउ वी वन. वी लॉस्ट अगेंस्ट साउथ अफ्रीका एंड अगेंस्ट बांग्लादेश वी barely won also due to rain, so we weren't convincing reaching semis. हाँ, but isn't that T20 cricket MTK? मतलब I understand, I agree. आप जो बोल रहे हो totally, मतलब I am in agreement with that. I cannot deny that because it's a fact. लेकिन साथ साथ में T20 क्रिकेट वही है यार. T20 में बहुत रेयर होता है कि हम आराम से जीतते हैं यार, honestly speaking. Problem with us, youngsters are not getting chance and that mental block of knockout. And yes, I am my entitlement जो राहुल के पास थी, अगेन उनकी गलती नहीं है, टीम ने दिया उसको, बिकॉज टीम बिलीव्स अ लिटिल बिट मोर देन व्हाट ही हिमसेल्फ बिलीव्स इन हिम. वो रियलिटी है. ठीक है, तो okay, I'm saying Dravid is not good as a coach, not as a player. Okay, fair enough, Vishal. That's what he meant. But again यार, younger sides के तो अच्छा किया है विशाल. younger side जो है, it's about वो ये मैन मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, मोटिवेटर कैसे है राहुल ऑन द डे. Pakistan played well, but eventually came short after अफरीदी इंजरी. भाई शाहीन शाह अफरीदी अगर रहते भी ना, मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ भाई इंग्लैंड ही जीती थी, लेकिन क्लोज और क्लोजर होता मैच वो. डेफिनेटली मैं आई एग्री. Must try Sai Kishore, Mohsin Khan. Yeah, Pakistan lost with respectfully, unlike India. Yes, absolutely, 100% agree. भाई सब लोग again I request everyone to like the stream. देखते हैं कितने कितने likes हुए. And yes, और कुछ एजेंडा मैंने भूल गया तो please let me know. By the way, there is a crazy amount of content coming on both the channels. That's both Almighty Sport Plus and Almighty Blues FC. Yes, मैं बोल रहा हूँ काफी, लेकिन ला नहीं पा रहा बिकॉज वो ये लाइव मैचेस होते हैं ना, देन आई टेंड टू काइंड ऑफ डू दिस इमरजेंसी स्ट्रीम्स, डू दिस रिव्यूज, वॉच अलोंग्स. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं ना, थोड़ा क्यूरेटेड कंटेंट हमने किया है which is recorded, then I'm going to get you in the nice version on Almighty Blues FC about say World Cup, takes on squads, takes on basically history of those particular teams. वो भी हम बात कर रहे हैं, काफी ऑलरेडी शुरू हो गया by the way for people who do not know. So do check out मेरे playlist of World Cup, FIFA World Cup on Almighty Blues FC. A lot of shorter videos as well as live, तीनों live तो हम शुरू करने वाले most probably कल से. But आज के लिए we are looking at releasing one video tonight as well. So give it a watch, hit that bell notification icon on दोनों channels. But साथ साथ में also check out the description because I believe in this website that is sporticos.com. Now sporticos.com is not just about the website, it's also a great offer. Yes, the final of the cricket world cup is over, but the cricket season is not over. So abhi bhi main bolta hu, this stays valid. तो people do check out that description. पहला line in the description has a way जहां पर आप जीत सकते हो, is absolutely guaranteed free jersey. ठीक है, first line in the description has the link. Click on that link. Only with that link you need to subscribe. Follow the procedure. You get a free jersey, but not just that. You can get a second free jersey as well as get a bonus to play. So by everyone, go for it. In my opinion, yes, we have had a couple of takers already, and it's great to see them. It's not only Chelsea. If you're thinking that, it's wrong. We have a lot of other clubs, countries available. So by go for it. It can be cricket or football. Absolutely. Again, thanks to Sporticos for that. Must यहाँ पे ले लिया था मैंने. चलो BCCI. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल विशाल भाई, ये चीज ना राहुल द्रविड़ तक बोल दिया यार अभी, तो होपफुली विशाल हो जाएगा, होपफुली हो जाएगा. बट अगेन ऑन दैट नोट आई थिंक वील एंड द स्ट्रीम फॉर नाउ. अगेन कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू इंग्लैंड. यस, इट पेन्स मी टू से इट, बट ईदर वेज वही होता क्योंकि इंडिया तो नहीं है. बट इंग्लैंड मैन, द फर्स्ट टीम टू होल्ड बोथ द वाइड बॉल फॉर्मेट वर्ल्ड कप्स. वाओ. only thing I can take pride is by being a Chelsea fan as well. हमने किया था वो विद द यूरोपियन चैंपियंस लीग. ऑफ कोर्स जस्ट सेइंग, इट्स नोवेयर क्लोज. टॉकिंग अबाउट फुटबॉल जस्ट फॉर अ सेकंड, बट हाँ, वो तो इंग्लैंड को देना पड़ेगा. बट आई डोंट नो, टेस्ट क्रिकेट इज आल्सो गोइंग टू कम. वहां भी दे आर लुकिंग वेरी गुड. भाई समथिंग नीड्स टू बी डन अबाउट क्रिकेट. आई एम टेलिंग यू, समथिंग नीड्स टू बी डन. यस, बहुत हेल्प किया ये टूर्नामेंट, बट वी नीड टू हैव मोर ऑफ सच टूर्नामेंट्स, मोर ऑफ चैंपियंस ट्रॉफीज इन माय ओपिनियन, मोर ऑफ एशिया कप्स इन माय ओपिनियन. ज्यादा क्वाड्रांगुलर सीरीज कराइए. एंड ऑफ कोर्स इवन पाकिस्तान, commiserations, but respect. Again, the way भाई वो पैक कर लिए थे almost अपने bags और they were almost about to go. Let's be honest. Netherlands definitely helped, but Pakistan against South Africa played very good cricket. That was a turning couple of days for them. आप देखिए, रोहित शर्मा should retire. Let's see. मतलब retire का तो पता नहीं. I don't think the team is thinking that way because of the ODI World Cup coming next year. जो हम करेंगे कवर. Absolutely, England have changed cricket, my opinion. Again, yeah, you can argue. Yes, in T20 they have, but मतलब आप लोग बोलिए, मतलब which is the best cricketing nation? Again, it should be fair that आप लोगों ने देखा है, maybe आपने clips देखा हो, but I hope you have seen. Which is the best cricketing side ever? Any format, एक cricketing side आप pick करिए. Which is the best cricketing side ever? I'll give you options. Options है वेस्ट इंडीज 1970s और अर्ली 1980s. ठीक है, वो मैं बोलूंगा. वेस्ट इंडीज क्रिकेट जो है 90s, हमने क्लिप्स देखा है. यस, मैं भी, आई वाज नॉट बोर्न, बट हमने क्लिप्स देखा है. मेरे पास तो 83 वर्ल्ड कप का पूरा सीडी है, एंड आई वॉच्ड अ लॉट ऑफ क्लिप्स. तो वेस्ट इंडीज 1970s और 1980s की वेस्ट इंडीज. सेकंड ऑप्शन है ऑब्वियसली ऑस्ट्रेलिया. ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऑफ 1990s और 2000s. और आई वुड लाइक टू से इंग्लैंड. और यस, मैंने इंडिया को नहीं देखा है because India has not dominated cricket. They've not dominated. England, if you are the holder of both the tournaments, which is the prime tournaments in say white ball cricket, you are dominating. नहीं, तो India is seeking that still. So which is the best absolute team? आप लोग बोलिए. It'll be interesting. Imagine this, bro, if this also happens. Again, yes, मैंने रिलीज किया इंडिया इंग्लैंड का भी. आप चेक इट आउट ऑन ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज एफसी कल. ऑस्ट्रेलिया, विशाल बोल रहे हैं, डोंट यू थिंक इंडिया शुड मेक टीम अकॉर्डिंग टू फॉर्मेट? बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैंने इतने बार बोला है दैट इंडिया शुड हैव डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट्स के लिए डिफरेंट टीम्स. वो एक वी हैव टू टेक अ लीफ फॉर द बुक ऑफ इंग्लैंड, ऑफ न्यूजीलैंड टू सम एक्सटेंट. भाई काफी सारे टीम्स जो अच्छा करती है T20 क्रिकेट कंसिस्टेंटली. या हम बायलैटरल सीरीज में तो अच्छा करते हैं, but when I say in T20 series consistently, I mean in quadrangular series like the Asia Cup kind of thing, for example, or maybe the ICC tournaments as well. So there something needs to be done. और हमने इतना क्रिकेट है, so we have to ask for more quadrangular series because we cannot win those big finals, semi-finals kind of thing. Arey Mikhail, bhai, congrats, absolutely, bhai, and commiserations to you. Mikhail, obviously being a Pakistan supporter, pretty sure, Mikhail, bhai, लेकिन commiserations आपको यार बिल्कुल. I hope you watched the match. It was a great match, absolutely. Again, there were injuries at the end. I know that also kind of helped, but again, England hats off. You have to say, yeah, absolutely. I think enough runs on the board were not there, and I think Pakistan ने बहुत अच्छी fielding की. I must say that they won the hearts, Pakistan, in my opinion. Australia from 1990s to 2010 was something else. Okay. I feel it's time to change, having three different formats. Yeah, we have the talent pool. It will give more players chances to. Bilkul, bilkul. I agree as well. Cannot disagree with that. But again, people, do not forget to like the stream, and of course, do check out the description. और यहाँ पे I have Sporticos का एक अपडेट यहाँ पर. So this is for everyone. In case आप लोग को मैसेज नहीं मिला है, just check it out as well. The description first line. लेकिन meanwhile उससे पहले ये मैं दिखाना चाहूंगा भाई पाकिस्तान. तो कमिजरेशन डेफिनेटली. अगेन हैट्स ऑफ टू देम. मैं तो ऑलमोस्ट थम्स अप देने वाला हूँ भाई पाकिस्तान को. आई वुड से तो पाकिस्तान आई थिंक डिजर्व दैट एज मच एज आइडियली इट शुड हैव बीन इंडिया. लेकिन इंडिया ने हगा है, पाकिस्तान नहीं हगा. आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा कुछ परफॉर्मेंस रहा है. दे स्टिल टुक द गेम टू द 19th ओवर. बट इंग्लैंड भाई, बेन स्टोक्स, ही विल बी फीलिंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. Ben Stokes, Josh Butler, these are players that have done it and they must be feeling this now.
Thank you, God. Victory!
Again, sorry Pakistan supporters, but again हमें करना पड़ेगा सेलिब्रेट यार. इंग्लैंड डोमिनेटिंग व्हाइट बॉल क्रिकेट. आई डोंट लाइक एनी स्पोर्ट डोमिनेटिंग. होपफुली हम चेंज कर जाए कहीं ना कहीं. बट हाँ, बिफोर गोइंग ऑल्सो डू चेक इट आउट. ये जो ऑफर आ रहा है, डू नॉट मिस आउट ऑन दैट. वी इन एसोसिएशन विद स्पोर्टिकोज आर ब्रिंगिंग यू समथिंग वेरी एक्साइटिंग दिस World Cup season. First of all, sporticos.com, that is a great website. Do check it out. आप लोग को अभी मिल रहा है एक मौका to win an absolutely free jersey आपके टीम का or any other team that you would want. It can be football or cricket. Along with that, you would get something extra as well, bonus, as well as a potential to win a second jersey और आपके टीम का ट्रेनिंग जैकेट. जो प्रोसीजर है फॉर यू टू सब्सक्राइब, दैट हैज टू बी डन विद द लिंक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो. पहला ही लाइन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन कंटेन्स दैट लिंक. डू क्लिक ऑन दैट. डू चेक आउट द प्रोसीजर. Pretty sure that is a great deal. So thanks for watching. Do watch till the end. Okay, so guys, on that note, remember Almighty Blues FC live sessions on World Cup will start tomorrow. भाई हम शाम को करते हैं जनरली लाइव, बट उतना ही नहीं, आज रात को I'll try and release a video on Almighty Blues FC. That's a बवाल video, trust me on that. भाई एक टीम के बारे में आप लोग गेस कर सकते कौन सी टीम के बारे में. एंड नॉट जस्ट दैट, हमें और भी रिकॉर्ड किया. वील ट्राई एंड पुट आउट मोर वीडियोस टुमारो, डे आफ्टर. भाई हम ला रहे हैं नॉस्टैल्जिक व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ सर्टेन कंट्रीज टू द वर्ल्ड कप, बट ऑल्सो द करंट स्क्वाड. दोनों हम ला रहे हैं. दूसरा 2 सीरीज है अपना वर्ल्ड कप का, अलॉन्ग विद शॉर्ट्स तो ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द मंथ एज वेल. चलो अभी के लिए इतना ही है, बट अगेन थैंक्स टू एवरीवन जॉइनिंग. डू नॉट फॉरगेट दैट लाइक बटन. ऑफ कोर्स भाई कंग्रेट्स टू इंग्लैंड एंड कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू पाकिस्तान. भाई इंडिया, हम होपफुली इंप्रूव करेंगे एंड कम बैक इन द नेक्स्ट टूर्नामेंट. आई नो वी बीन सेइंग इट, बट हैव सम फेथ पीपल. अभी के लिए बाय, टेक केयर.